What's going on, guys? It's Elias. Welcome to another video. So on today's video we're going to be looking at my first session ever in my wife's 335D, and basically on street tires, on street brake pads, very little preparation. All I did was change the brake fluid and the oil and took it out to the track. So this is at Pocono. This is track night in America. It was an awesome time. So as you can see here, I was kind of rushing to get out because I was stuck in a traffic jam, unfortunately. And in that traffic jam on I-80, I was basically almost gonna miss the first session, and I really almost did miss the first session. So I had to rush, get teched out, get all the stickers needed, and I had to go back in to get my wristband and just hop in the car and just go on the track. Usually I take out all this garbage that I have in the trunk and stuff like that. I didn't have the chance to do that for the first session. Just making sure that the camera was on because I barely had time to set up the camera. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see how this beast does for the first time ever. This is my first time ever really with a high-powered, high-torque, rear-wheel drive sedan or car on a track. Remember, this has close to 400 horsepower, close to 600 foot-pounds of torque. You know, it's not as much as that, but it's close enough. So it's quite powerful. It doesn't have a limited differential, so the back end's kind of interesting. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. So I'm in the advanced group, and in this advanced group, I mean, it was a full track day. So there's a lot of very fast cars. That's a very modified Boss 302. There's a bunch of Corvettes. There was a bunch of very fast cars. And it was a lot of fun to be around those fast cars. But remember, this car has street tires. They're ATR Sport 2s, so they're not even good street tires. They're meant for, you know, cheap commuting tires. And really, it was for my wife to commute. And so I was just kind of testing the waters, testing the brakes, testing kind of how the car was kind of handle. And as you can see in this fifth session, you'll see me getting faster and faster and more comfortable with the limits of the tires in the car. So by now, you've probably noticed a few things that I want to cover about this car as it sits. Like I said, it's a commuter car right now. So first, the tires. Yes, the tires are pretty bad. They have like no grip at all. And for session 1, I didn't even have the chance to air down, right? So they're at 35 PSI all around, basically. A little bit too much PSI to begin with. So the grip is just not there for this high horsepower car. And so coming out of the corners and into the straights, I really can't put the power down at all. First of all, no limitless differential and no grip on the tires means I have to be pretty much going straight to be able to put the power down. Now, when you are able to put the power down, for example, right here, you can get up to pretty high speeds. But as you can see, you barely don't have any noise, you don't have much excitement as you do in other cars, like for example my Type R. You're pretty excited because you have full control of transmission, you have more exhaust noise because of my aftermarket exhaust modifications. And so in this car, it feels like you're kind of out for a stroll, whereas the Type R, you feel like you're in a race. The other thing is, I wanted to try the transmission in full auto mode, so I put it in DS, so I basically just flipped a switch on the transmission and put it in sport mode. And even in sport mode, this transmission is trash. It needs to be tuned. There is a tune that we can put on there. I will be putting a tune for this car, since I basically do want to build it up into kind of like a track toy for my wife. I want her to start coming out here and start having some fun. But the transmission, the way it is, it's just terrible. So the transmission's slow and it's dumb and it doesn't downshift properly, and it upshifts too quickly. It doesn't leave the engine in the power band. The suspension, then, look at the suspension roll right here. This is a lot of roll for a suspension in a track day, and this is a sport suspension with Bilstein B6 shocks, so there's something to think about there. And even with all of that, because this car weighs 3,800 pounds, it's just not enough suspension for a track day. So a full-on coilover set, it's something that you definitely need to look into if you're looking to track your 335D. I'm already starting to look into either KW Club Sports or something similar to try to upgrade the suspension on this car. It also definitely needs an LSD. So this is the kind of things that I first observed on my first session. On the next session, and I will be sharing a video of that shortly, so if you haven't yet, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe. But in the next session, I actually start shifting the transmission myself. So let's go ahead and take a look at what else this car can do. So by this point, as you can see, I already started using the paddle shifters because the transmission was just not shifting the way I wanted it to in auto mode. So now it's in full manual mode, so I have a lot more control over the shifts. Not full control, mind you, just a lot more control. Of course, this thing obviously needs a transmission tune for it to be a more fun car. But as it is, it's still a hell of a hoot. I mean, look how fast this thing gets in the straights. I mean, 140 is about the max speed I got to here, and it was pretty brisk, let me tell you. So one problem of using the paddle shifters is that they're so close to the windshield wipers. As you saw there, I turned them on by mistake. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is the first session, 1 of 3, and it gets more and more fun and better in the next couple of sessions. So if you want to watch that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I do appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching again. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.